Okay, welcome guys. Welcome to tonight's show. See you, Benjamin Koba PD. How you doing, bro? Hope you're doing okay. I see you, Natasha, and I see you. Our guest is already here. Wow, beautiful scenes tonight. Beautiful scenes tonight. Let me get our guest in. Blessings. Thank you for joining, bro. Thank you for joining. Lolaine to Vincent. I see you, bro. See you. Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Let me just get our guest in. Yes, he's here. He's here.
Young OG, what's up? What's good?
Oh, good, bro. How you doing, man? How is Zambia? How is life there, man?
Yo,
Can you get me? Am I clear or... So yeah, guys, welcome to tonight's show, and thank you for joining the mental health space, and thank you for spending your time to be here. So we're having a little uh, bit of connection problems with our guest, but he'll be right here. So if you don't know our guest is Daneil II. He's a scientist, you know. He's a scientist and a musician. So we're glad to have him. And this is our topic. The topic is in the pinned comments. Is peer pressure real? Are some of the decisions we make influenced by peer pressure? You know, sounds so obvious, sounds so direct, but it's complicated. So that is why we bring a guest in and we want to talk to him about this because we want to deal with this peer pressure. So let's get our guest in. Let's get our guest in. Let's get our guest in. So if you have a stand on this topic, you can just comment there. You can see your suggestion. You can see your comment. And if you see on the bottom of your navigation bar, there is something like a message icon with a question mark inside of it. So you can pose your questions in there. You can pose your questions in there so that we may answer your questions and we may take a stand. So thank you for joining, guys. Incredible Black Belt, I see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your support. I'm just trying to punch in this our guest, but we're having a few connection problems. But he'll be here. He'll be here. He'll be here.
yo,
Yo, can you hear me now, bro? Damn.
G,
Yes, is it clear now?
are you able to get me?
Yes, I can get you, man. I can get you.
Yeah, I'm able to get you now.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So, okay, so bro, uh, let's try switching to audio. If possible, you can just try to switch to audio. Let me just give him this comment so that he can switch to audio. Thank you guys for joining. These connection problems have to stop, huh? They're really disturbing a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, guys, so let me give this floor to anyone who wants to join. You can request to join so that you can comment on the topic that I've given you here. Like, is peer pressure real, or some of the decisions we make influenced by peer pressure? So if you have a stand on this, just request to join and I'll put you in so that you can give us a stand as we're waiting for our guest, because we're facing kind of a little bit of connection problems. So yeah, if you can do that for me, then I'll be glad. So if you have a stand on this, please request to join so that we can get you in, so that you can give us a stand. But I'll just introduce this topic, peer pressure. You know, this is the name of our show, the mental health space. Here we talk about mental health because, well, we talk about mental health. That's the main thing. Um, so me and my friend Arthur, it was probably his idea to start this, but unfortunately, we didn't join like having a conversation like so well so that we can go further with it, because they had to be some agreements on the show plus on the YouTube channels, on the accounts, so it was complicated. So we just decided that we can't do it. But we're here, that's why I opened this space. So we're talking about peer pressure today because there is a lot of peer pressure these days. So it's such a common thing. I've been hearing about peer pressure since primary school. But it's not something that is just general. It is something that can really affect you in a positive way and in a negative way. That's why we're talking about it here, because in some parts it can be positive, and in some parts it can be negative. So let's have our guest as she's joining again. Bro, can you switch to audio if possible?
Yo,
Yeah, bro. Can you
uh,
switch?
are you able to get me?
Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear. I can get you, sir. So can you? Hey guys, so you can see we're facing connection problems here. You know, it's a big problem. It's stopping us from just getting into this show. Like, damn. But that's the topic. That's the topic. Okay, so let me start by saying that. Let me just continue. And for those who are joining us, this is the mental health space, and we're talking about peer pressure. So we have someone who someone who wants to join, man. Just wait for someone who's about to join. Yeah. So we're talking about peer pressure. We're talking about peer pressure, and let me continue by saying that peer pressure can be either in a positive way, or in a negative way. So I'm having a lot of requests for people to join here, so I'm just trying to get each request possible, like to answer everyone. Yeah, bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining. So, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. And you?
I'm just doing okay. So, man, glad to have you here. And this, by the way, this is my friend Chance. We schooled together in secondary school, and we schooled together too in the university. So, bro, um, peer pressure. Have you ever faced peer pressure?
Yeah, sometimes I
You still
face that.
face it?
I'm saying sometimes it happens.
Okay, sometimes it happens.
Yeah,
So, have you ever been influenced by peer pressure, like um, being able to make some decisions just because of what people say or what uh, people want to talk, want to see in you? Have you ever made some decisions just from being pressured by peers?
yeah. Some of my decisions which I make are
Mm,
basically made from my peers' pressure. Of course, I have good friends. Of course,
mm,
some are bad. I cannot force that with you. I don't
mm.
drink alcohol, so if they force me
Yes.
to drink alcohol, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
But some, they 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 encourage me to
Hmm.
work hard in school, so I follow
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
they see me falling apart, the one that pull me up,
Yes, sir.
bro, you are going down. You need it one to pull up your socks. So
Yeah.
some peers are good, some are bad.
Okay.
That's what.
Okay. Great. I get your stand. And please let me just make it clear that I'm seeing your requests, and please hang in there. When we're just done with chance, and I'll accept your request. So I'll accept each request as possible. I see you incredible black belt. I'll add you just in a minute. Let's just finish the conversation with chance. But chance, I like your stand. I like the way you have talked about this. Like it's either positive or negative. So you see,
Yeah,
that's the thing about peer pressure because sometimes we need that pressure from our peers to do good things, to see things in the different way, in a different lane. At the same time, um, most of the part that of peer pressure that is talked about is the bad part because it outshines the good things. But I have to say that positive peer pressure is there and it's very good. And you can see that from the statement that Chance is saying that the friends tell him to pull up his socks so that he can do better. Just from the friends, that's peer pressure. But then it helps him in a positive way. So let's notice that. So Chance, thank you for your time
thank you.
and thank you for your response. Let me add someone else so that we can get their stand, right?
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Can I hang up?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Um, so let's have another person joining, and this is Luke here. Okay. Glad to have you, incredible Brad Barrett.
Hi, hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. So yeah, thank you for joining the mental health space, and let's just go straight to the points here. By the way, this is Luke here. This is one of the best models I've ever seen. Like, I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan, and I wish you all the best. So,
Thank you.
anyway, I'll stop that. Let's say, let's talk about peer pressure.
Okay.
Um, so, look here. Have you ever faced peer pressure?
Yes.
uh, has it influenced you uh, in a positive way or in a negative way?
I would put it on a 50-50 because the way I
Yes.
see peer pressure, it doesn't come in the way we think it does. Like people would actually think peer pressure comes when your friends are actually influencing you directly to do
Yeah.
something either good or bad. But sometimes it also comes through that indirect way because you wouldn't
Yeah.
realize you're being influenced into something until you have done that. Let's take, for example, I would say I would be
Mm,
hanging out
mm.
with a crowd of people that really would not um, tell me directly to maybe like take alcohol or smoke weed or go out partying. But the fact that I
Yes.
am in their circle, I am part of them, that would
Mm.
indirectly lead me to do the things that they do. Not that they have actually told me to do it because it's cool or it would make me seem like this
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
to date person. Komano,
Mm.
because the fact that I am always in that crowd, maybe if it's church related,
Yes.
and if those friends I'm glued to are like, vibrant in prayer and everything, then so automatically I'm pressured goodness on the follow suit. Not good
Mm.
and
Wow.
manga, and the like live good in no masiya kupempha attention. But the fact that I'm seeing good okay and zanga
Mm.
utsogura in and deka, it's that
Mm.
indirect, peer pressure. So I feel like
Yeah.
we
This is.
experienced it mostly
Yeah. Like. Yeah. This is so profound. So, like, you're actually very right because they say the environment dictates who you are.
yeah,
So, if you hang around people who gossip, by the end of the day, you start gossiping. If
true.
you hang around with people who smoke weed, by the end of the day, you get into that
Get into the same
without
thing. Yeah,
knowing. Yeah. So we can say that just the environment that you keep also pressures you to make some decisions and
yeah,
also do some things, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that is
exactly.
so profound. So, okay, so how do you deal with that? Let's take, um, let me quote you. You say that in some situations you may not understand that this thing is happening to me or I'm being
Yeah.
pressurized, but then it just happens just from nowhere. So, what would you advise as the best way of preventing peer pressure?
I feel like muntu zizi awake. Like you should know yourself. Like we all have habits that we normally do. Like we have our personal routines. I mean, it's not about adapt.
Yes.
From work, school, home. We have certain traits.
Yeah.
Okay, I wake up in the morning, I read my Bible, or I wake
Mm.
up in the morning, I meditate. Now
Yeah.
it's maybe it's over the weekend, would you have this plan that okay, I come from work or school or I'm at home, I go maybe to a Bible study or I'm reading books or I'm out, you know doing
Yeah.
different things that you normally do. So if you see changes in those patterns and you see when I never used to do, maybe let's say, I never used to read books, but then during my course, I've incorporated reading books. Then you know that okay, who in my circle does that? Like who is always on their books, or amene amapanga matraits imene ambakuonesa indi ndani. Then you would know okay, muntu uyu
Yes.
akundipanga influence kupanga zakuti. Like if you're always that person
Mm.
who reading a Bible daily, you get curious, could you okay, maybe let me get a Bible plan or something. Could you mwina ndone kuti amapeza mojani? Or amene amakhala kusula
Yes.
jamba. Kuti okay, maybe let me try ndone kuti kodi hype yake imakhala yotani. So when you see kunena
Mm.
kuti wambopanga incorporate my habits tina take, I feel like it's important kuti uzizikhanzika pasi kuziunikira, like check yourself. Kuti
Yeah.
where I'm at right now, are the things I'm doing, are they like for the long run? Are they good for me or are they changing me for the bad? So the moment
Yes.
you
Yes. Yes.
give yourself that time, like you self reflect, that's when you know that if you're being pressured to do the right things or the wrong things. So I feel
Yeah.
like we skip that part of sitting down and then, calculating, okay, this week,
Uh-huh.
what have I progressed or what have I, withdrawn from? So if we do that, I feel like peer pressure could be to some extent minimized.
I get your point. That's very practical. That's very practical. And I have to say, at the first place, you need to have standards first, as you have said
Yeah,
that we all have a way that of living, or we all have things we go for, or things we love doing, our standards, our routines, daily routines. So you need to have those first, because it's very hard to spot that something is in you when you just do everything with people, like you just don't control yourself.
yeah,
So it has to take you to have standard first. And then when you see that you're compromising your standards, then you realize
yeah,
that the people I'm keeping around are really dragging me down.
yeah.
So yeah, I get your point. So do you have any experience, a practical experience, when you faced peer pressure, like you really faced peer pressure and caused you to make some decisions? Do you have any practical situation or any real situation or a circumstance that you faced where you
I
faced
wouldn't.
peer pressure?
I would have too many scenarios, but I'm trying to find the closest one that I can explain.
Mm,
But I would say
yes.
maybe in terms of school related, I wasn't one
Mm,
to like my group discussions.
yeah.
Like from my first during my junior years of class, I
Yes.
had friends, and most of that friend group used to have their group of discussions. And because
Yes.
I was close to them, and we normally, we walk together in campus, or if it's classes, that drove me to also start, the group discussions and checking my school progress and
Yes.
other school related. That I feel like that was also like peer pressure in a way, because I was like, okay, so all my friends are
Yeah.
meeting up after classes, and they're
Mm,
able to discuss, upcoming exams and other assignments, and they're progressing, in their
yeah.
grades and everything. So I think if I also, since I'm already like part of them, if I do as they do, then it would also help my grades, and it really did. So I feel like that's
And
like the
it helped
yeah,
your grades.
it really did help my grades. So I feel like that was like
Wow.
friend pressure. They're always meeting up. So if I'm the one who's only present, how your J's are like, worldly things, not class related. So if I
Yeah.
also, go fully with the friendship, also incorporate the studies and everything, then I would also benefit, not only one side. So I feel like that
Yes.
was pressure in a way. So yeah, that's the easiest
Yeah.
example of
Yeah.
physical
Okay.
peer
Yeah.
pressure.
And that's positive peer pressure, I guess,
Yeah, that's positive peer pressure.
because now we see the results improving just because of the
Yeah,
company that you kept. You always feel bad sometimes when you see your friends like meeting and go like, no, these guys are working hard and just staying like this, and you have that pressure
yeah,
to study or to join them, so it affects you
it,
in a positive way.
it really
Do you
does.
have any negative experience?
Negative experience. Well, we all have those negative experiences, but then I'll explain mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so um negative peer pressure. Okay, I would say the 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 outing part.
Hmm.
So I have friends who like like partying and everything. So I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
call it negative, because we all need that space where we can go and take a
Mm.
breather. But
Yeah, sometimes.
yeah, but then there's some. Okay, let me not give that as an example, but I would say there was a time where I was so glued to people who were not as rooted spiritually,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Yes.
that affected me really, really bad, because it was that phase where you're trying to get to know Christ, you're trying to be the best you can, you're trying to live according to, when you're like first introduced to Christianity, you want to
Yes.
follow those 10 commandments and be that good person, always sharing the gospel, but then you meet a group of people who don't really want to hear it. So you're stuck at that point where you want to progress in your Christianity, but you also don't want to lose your friends.
Yes, exactly.
So you tend to minimize, like maybe going to church gatherings or study groups and other Christian-related functions, just so you cannot lose your positions with friends. So that has happened to me before.
Yeah,
I
you're
would
very
stop,
right.
like I would refrain from, church activities, just so I don't get to lose, that person
Yeah.
or friends that I'm associated. So yeah, that would be like negative peer pressure for me that has ever happened.
Yeah, actually, that's negative peer pressure, and the what I love about this example is that I've experienced this before. Um, telling you my story, I'm someone who, okay, there's this other part of me, the odd part of me, that was not so good, and I was abusing drugs. I had some addictions, and then I had to go through this phase of facing mental health problems, overcoming,
Yeah.
and then being here, you know. So I've noticed that in the process of overcoming, and in the process of trying to be a good person or a better guy, I lost friends.
Yeah.
I lost friends, like almost 6 to 7 close friends, guys we were partying with, we were drinking together, and then just from the part of peer pressure, I was facing the peer pressure. Like, I want to stop this.
Yeah.
I want to stop drinking. I'm facing mental health problems. Drinking is not helping me. Smoking is not helping me. I want to feel worthy. I'm dating different women, and it's not helping me.
Yeah.
Let me go for another option. Let me meet Christ. Let me find my purpose. Let me help people. You know, I never knew that all these things were shaping me to be the guy I am today.
Yeah.
But I've seen that in the process of getting better, I had to release the pressure for my friends, because these friends are pressurizing me. Like,
Yeah.
no, man, you have to do this. Yeah, you're not real, man. You're not real. Why are you sober? Let's go out. And then I was like, no.
Yeah.
And I just found out that 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, I started losing friends. But my point is,
It doesn't for somebody who's
yeah,
not
it doesn't
losing
take
friends.
time. It actually doesn't take time. Like, what happens actually is that still you can have the friends around, but as time goes, those guys will just stop talking to you. Those guys will just stop talking to you. So the thing is, peer pressure is something that can affect you in a positive way, as we have seen, and it also can affect you in a negative way, as we have seen. So thank you, incredible Black Belt. I think we're facing some connection problems there. And with our guest, the guest that we are supposed to have tonight, all the way from Zambia, we can see his comment here that my network is trash, only limited to watching the live, but I'm definitely enjoying the conversation, the examples I read about too. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. I'm looking forward to having you the next time you join. Yeah, and shout out to my boss who has just joined. Shout out to you, sir. Shout out to you. So we're talking about peer pressure, and we have some requests here. Let's add Sipiwi who wants to talk to us. So add Sipiwi in a minute. Let's just wait. But we're talking about peer pressure, and this is our topic in the pinned comment. Sipiwi, Okay, so she just left. Yeah, so this is the topic. Is peer pressure real? Are some of the decisions that we make influenced by peer pressure? So we're going to look at this, and let me try to add this guy maybe. Let's see stand on this. Let's see stand. But this is the topic. So if you have
Yo,
yeah, 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 I can hear you, bro.
yo, been having a real hard time trying to get to this live.
Yes, yes, I see.
I'm glad you
This
can hear
network
me.
thing.
Otherwise, I'm
Yeah,
enjoying the conversation. Really enjoyed what the conversation that you had with the previous speaker. That was very nice, and yeah, uh, peer pressure. Yeah,
yes, sir. I can get you. Can you continue? You were saying something. So here we go again. The connection problems again. So um, we apologize for the connection problems that we're facing, but we'll try as much as possible to get these guys connected so that we can have some good time here. And yeah, so you can request to join, but this is the topic. Let me just analyze, or let me just summarize what the previous speakers were saying. One of them said that peer pressure is something that can be positive or negative, and he gave an example that when he's down or when he's not working that hard in class, he has some friends who tell him, go like, man, you need to pull up your socks. You need to pull up your socks, and he gets pressurized and he goes like, man, like, I really need to work hard. So you can see there that peer pressure is acting in a positive way. So you have to understand that peer pressure is not something that is negative. It is something that is either negative or positive. But most of the times, the way we, or the, in terms of the school, in the way it is peer pressure, it's always something that is negative. But we see here that peer pressure is not always negative. It can be positive in some ways. We have a second speaker, and she comes up with a really good point. She talks about peer pressure in terms of the people you keep around. So you find yourself doing some things, being involved in some things. You find yourself doing some things or being involved in some things just because of the people you keep around. Let's give an example. Okay, let me say she gave an example that if you stick around people who drink, by the end of the day you end up drinking. If you stick around people who gossip, by the end of the day you end up being a gossiper, and you end up gossiping. So we're seeing here that the people you keep around, the type of the environment that you keep, the type of people you keep around will influence you without you even seeing it. So sometimes it can be positive and sometimes it can be negative. So if you keep company with people who are always working hard, like the way she addressed it, she kept around people who were working hard in class and they forced her to work hard. So we see here that peer pressure is something that is positive and it helped her, and she even said that it improved her grades. You see, so we see here that peer pressure is positive and it's very positive, and in many ways it's something that can help us. But in some parts, we see that peer pressure is negative, because just from the statement that she said, another example that she gave, she probably gave a couple of examples. I have to appreciate her for that because it's something that gave us a lot of insight. She said, when I was getting better spiritually, growing spiritually, I had some friends who were around who didn't help me that much to get better spiritually because there are people who I loved and I didn't want to lose them. So there's some things and there's some decisions that we make just to have people in our lives, just to keep our friends, you know. But I'll challenge you that please consider the type of the friends that you want to keep. Are they helping you or are they not? Is it just emotions or is it just pressure? Or is something that goes beyond that, you know? Because by the end of the day, if you see the circle of your enemies, it's people who were once your friends, you know? Most of the enemies that you have right now are people who you knew, are people who you had friendships with, relationships with. They are the people that you don't like now. That they are the people that you are not in good shape now. Those are your enemies. People who were once your friends are your enemies now. So now you are making a decision just because of someone who you want to keep, a friend. Maybe a friend who doesn't even value that much, you know. So we can get into drinking just because we want to please our friends. We can get into multiple relationships just because we want to fit in the context of our friends. You know, they go like, no man, you can't do this. Like, you're not a real man. How can you just have one girlfriend? You know, stuff like those. I'm using these examples. I know some people, it may not be that good to use these examples, but these are the practical ones, things on the ground. You know. You need to try this, man. You need to try. You don't have any girl, and you don't drink. So what do you do, man? Or what do you do on the weekends? Or like, you know, something like those. They force us to make decisions that cost us by the end of the day. So peer pressure is either positive or negative. But you have to filter first. You have to know, is it variable? Like, analyze the request, and you need to pause before making a decision, because most of the times you just make decisions without thinking that much about them, like how much it will cost us. You know, you have to understand that by the end of the day, it's your life and it's their life. You'll never be the same, and by the end of the day, you are targeting different things, and you may end up making decisions just because you want to please some people who are not even going anywhere. You know, I would advise you, if you have dreams, you have visions, you have ambitions, you have goals, you will need to lose some friends. You will need to lose some friends. Yeah, and that's a must. I think people who have achieved some things in life or have gone to a certain level understand this, that you have to lose some friends, man. You have to lose some friends. I'll give my example. Me being here, being able to talk to you guys on mental health, on peer pressure, it's because in the process I faced this, and I've faced peer pressure, faced mental health problems, and luckily I've overcome. And now I understand that losing friends is part of the process, because, man, like, I'm telling you, I had 8 close friends and we don't talk anymore. For some people we talk, like, for some of the friends we talk like for like 5 minutes, and we just end up staring at each other like, what's next, you know. So things change, and if you want to go forward, you have to be able to filter through the requests that you have, the decisions that you make, the things that you receive, analyze them, see if they will help you, and if they won't, make sure you make a positive decision, a decision that will help you get your goals and get your dreams. So yeah, that's it. And this is the topic that we're talking about. Is peer pressure real, or some of the decisions we make influenced by peer pressure? So yeah, this is the topic, and I can see people joining here. We have new people joining here. We have Felix. I see you, bro. I hope you're doing great. It's been a while. And I see Mai. This Mai is my sister, and Mai, thank you for joining. So guys, this is the topic. And this, as you can see, I've pinned the comment there that is peer pressure real? Are some of the decisions we make influenced by peer pressure? Yeah, so we need your stand on this. And if you want to join, you can request to join, and we'll add you here. You can request to join, and we'll add you. So let me add some people here. Let me add some people. But yeah, this is the topic, and we'll have some time and we can still talk about this. Let me add some people here. Just give me a minute. So I'm waiting to add. I've tried to add some people. Let's just wait for the connection. Let's just wait for the connection. So we're supposed to have a guest here from all the way from Zambia, but bruh, like the network is just the connection, having connection problems all the way from Zambia. Connection problems all over. So failed to join. But right now we are going to have Mai, can you please switch to audio if possible? Let me just pin a comment here. Let's have you guys send the request in to join. We are here. I'm inviting people to join. Yeah, so as I was talking, that connection problems are things that are stopping us to get into that flow. But let's continue talking about peer pressure. And there is another aspect of peer pressure that we want to talk about. And this one is mostly on now family. family. It's something that, let's say, okay, just from the term peer pressure, it's from peers, right? But we can also include family in peers. So people like the family wants you to get married just because of your age, and you are not ready to get married, and then you get married. You lash into marriage, or you end up connecting with people who you don't really love just because you want to please your family. That's pressure. You're forced to take a certain course. You're forced to go for a certain program. You're forced to go for a certain university just because of your family. You know, I've seen that in Malawi, you don't have a choice as to which college to go for, as to which course you have to take. It's less people who have a choice for that. Like, it's very few people who have a choice for that, because most of the times it's like, go to secondary school, get good points, go to Chanko, go to Polytechnic, don't go to University of Estonia, that's private, or work hard so that you can go to a great university, not work hard so that you can do a good course. So family will force you to make some decisions just to meet the standard when you are not really into that. Let me give another example. Like, most of the time I'll talk to my mom, and I'll go like, no mom, like, I don't want to work in the hospital, like that environment, I just don't love it. I can't work. Then I take my Form 4 exams and the results are out, and I apply for the University of Estonia. I signed my form, computer engineering, first choice. Second choice, education in information communication technology. It's because like, no, you are not applying for this stuff. You are not applying for this stuff. And she was like, public health. I was like, okay, fine, public health. And now I'll be graduating this November, BSc in public health. But that was not my choice. But anyway, you never know. Some of these things shape you or are pre-planned by God. So I just went into public health and I found it fun, and I learned a lot through the process. And I don't regret. I don't regret. I don't regret. It was pressure, but I see that my mom shaped me and gave me this stand, and I've met incredible people. Without being at Livingstone, I wouldn't have been here, like talking to you, sharing circumstances, and talking about mental health. So we can see here that sometimes peer pressure goes in a positive way, and sometimes goes in a negative way. So let's let's see this comment. Like, let's hope you ain't trying to use it as an excuse to be a bachelor. But yeah, the pressure of family puts on many individuals leads to making premature decisions which affect the future. Exactly, bro. Exactly. So, bro, like, I'll get married soon. This is not an excuse of being a bachelor. It's just I'm just giving information. I'm teaching here. Peer pressure, man. Peer pressure. So it's people like you who want me to get married like so soon, but man, I have time. I have time. I have time, bro. Like 5, 6 years down the line, and you can see what you can do after that. Yeah. So, thank you for the dope comment, and thank you for the feedback on peer pressure. So we have a new guy joining. Oh, this is Wakisa Mutali. Thank you for joining, Sensei. Thank you for joining. And we want to have your stand here. This is our topic: is peer pressure real? Are some of the decisions we make influenced by peer pressure? So we're talking about peer pressure here, man. And it's a big issue. It's a big issue. So yeah. So sometimes family can really cause you to do some things that are not that positive, you know. So, and I'll give another example in terms of the people you keep around with. We gave an example. One of the speakers said the people you hang around with, you end up being like them by the end of the day. If you gossip, you end up gossiping, and if you have people who drink around, you end up drinking. So, what about your family? This is just the same, and this is not the people you keep around with in this situation. Family are people you keep close now, you know. So we see here that when you have let's take you have an uncle who drinks, and he has a car, and he tells you, "Man, come and pick me up somewhere. I'm drunk, and come pick me up." You go. Second day you go again, and the third day he says, "No, man, take me to that place. Let me just have a few drinks." You go, you leave him there, and you come back. The next time you go like, "Let's go have some drinks." He goes like, let's go and have some drinks." Yeah, you have some drinks, you drink, and then you find out by the end of the day, maybe you were taking your coke and he's taking his Castle. Time goes, and as time goes, you find out that you'll be taking the Castle just because you kept that guy around. So you see, peer pressure exists. So let's see a comment from Pascaline. We're saying family peer pressure is real because tell you something, and because you don't want to lose them, you end up listening and doing what they're telling you. Wow. This is very true. This is very true. And in Africa, like in Malawi, we go like, no, manoje samava. Manoje samava. Ndipo alibe ule umwana menoje, some stuff like those. Just because you disagree or you don't want to do what they have told you to do. So it's very well. This comment is very profound because it's very practical. Like it's something that is happening on the ground that people, like family, it pressures you, and when you don't do some things, they go like, "No, we have lost our son. We have lost our son. He ain't our son anymore. Akula ambamano." Some stuff like those. But by the end of the day, not everyone will understand us. Not everyone will understand us. Not everyone will be on our side, you know. So just make sure that you're careful on that before making a decision, because peer pressure or family pressure is there, and they'll always be there. They'll always be there. they'll cause you to make some decisions that you won't even like, but then you just go like, no, this is my family. This is my family. I have to do this for my family. And we end up making some decisions that are not on our side, you know, just to please the family. And by the end of the day, we are miserable people. We are not happy with our lives just because we have been doing it for the family, you know. So let's be careful on that. So we also have a new comment here from our guest who is Daniel, who is saying, I like to relate peer pressure to the first law of thermodynamics. Yo! By the way, this is Daneil, and Daneil is a scientist slash musician. So yeah, I'm starting to believe that you're really a scientist, bro. Okay, let's get this comment. Like, I like to relate peer pressure to the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy can either be created, not destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. How am I going to explain this? Okay, which states that energy can neither be created, that means you can't, nor destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. So, bruh, I need you to explain this. I need to explain. I need you to explain this. Like, I'm failing to understand you on this part. Failing to understand you on this part. Because, yeah, if it is neither being created or destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to another. I think if you are relating peer pressure to be energy from one form to another, must be positive energy and negative energy, because by the end of the day, the hate that you keep, you can turn that into love. You know, it's the same energy. You are just transforming it from one form to another. So why hating people? Why being miserable? Not liking people who don't even think about you, who don't even care if you don't like them or you like them. What if you change the energy? Like, what if you go on the other lane? You know, for example, go from hate to love. We're all here. We exist because of love. Because by the end of the day, you have joined this life because of love. You have joined this life because of love. You are texting the people you are texting because of love. We're checking out on the people you're checking on because of love. You wake up and you go for your goals because of love. You work because of love. You want to serve the people. So it's love all over us. And we are functioned by love. We function by love. And we function by faith, that we know that there's some things, greater things that we want to achieve, and we're able to do greater things. And it all depends on the faith and love. So you have to understand that it's the same energy, the energy that you use to hate people. You can use the same energy to love people, you know, just by transforming the energy. But this is a very dope comment. This is a very dope comment. I like to relate peer pressure to the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. This is a very good comment. This is a very good comment. So we are 2 minutes away from closing this show, and I would just like to appreciate each and everyone who joined. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the show tonight. It was great. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. We faced some connection problems. We didn't get our guest in, but I'm just glad that you guys were here. made this possible and this beautiful. Let me see your comment. If you're still here, let me see your comment if you're still here. I'm about to close the show. Let me see your comment. Let me see your comment. So this show is every Saturday, 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Central African Time. 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Central African Time. And it's always great to have you guys. It's always great to have you guys. Let's see.